What up YouTube, this is Rather Be Welding coming at you again with another homemade project. Today I am going to motorize this thing, finally. I finally have a motor for it. It's a 6.5 horsepower. It's not Briggs & Stratton, which is kind of bumming me out. It's a cheap Chinese motor. And how you can tell is if you have whatever that language is on the label, you know it's a cheap Chinese motor. So my dad actually got this at Harbor Freight for $100 like a couple of years ago, and he had to cut the shaft a little bit short, but that'll be fine. I'm just gonna weld something on there to hold on the centrifugal clutch. It's enough to hold the centrifugal clutch on. The only thing I'm kind of bummed about is I'm gonna have to make it belt drive because I don't have enough money to make this thing chain drive, because centrifugal clutch and chains are not cheap, and I don't have that much money right now. So I'm gonna have to make this belt drive. I already have a belt centrifugal clutch. I'm gonna have to turn this tire around. Originally this sprocket was here, and I'm gonna have to put the sprocket here, and it's a disc brake, and the disc brake's gonna go here. But that's not a big deal. Big deal is I'm gonna have to make a seat. So that's gonna be the hard part. I'm not that great at making seats, so that's gonna be a little tricky. There's a lot of stuff to fix on this thing. I'm gonna have to basically just replace these things, make these out of steel, then bolt it to here. I'm gonna actually make a headlight for this thing, so I may be able to ride at night. And I may do a tail light, because this thing has one of those tail light things where you can hear it click, whatever those are called. And this has a hydraulic brake, so that's really cool, but it doesn't work. I hope it's not broken. And it also has just a bunch of wiring. I have no idea what it goes to, but it's, has this thing on it, which has kill switch, headlights, and whatever that is. So this thing used to have like a bunch of horn, headlight, tail light, and all that kind of special stuff, but I don't know what. So first step is the motor doesn't fit in there, so I'm gonna have to kind of modify it, take the muffler off, take the air filter off, and kind of make my own air filter, and so I can get the thing in there. And so that's the first step. Okay, I took all the wiring off. I put the V-belt pulley on the back tire. It's a little wobbly, but that's not a big deal because it's a belt. So as long as it doesn't hit, right here, which it is so close to hitting. But yeah, it's really wobbly. But anyway, this is on. I had to put the tire backwards. If you see, where does it say it? Rotation, this way. It's gonna be going this way, so I'm not really too worried about it. It's the grooves in the tire that's, but anyway, I'm not really worried about it. And so I took the motor. I had to take the gas tank off because it wouldn't really fit. I had to take the muffler off. I'm gonna have to make my own muffler and put the V-belt thing on there. It looks pretty good, and I just put this string on here just to make sure everything's gonna work. It's clearing that fine and looking good. So all I have left is to weld this plate on, and then bolt the motor to the plate, and then get something to attach the gas tank, because I can't attach it to here because that broke off, and the whole motor was just sitting on top of there. So I'm gonna have to make a mount that's for the gas tank to attach to the frame, not the motor. Then I'm gonna have to make a new muffler, and I'm probably gonna straight pipe this thing because it would be awesome straight piped. And then hardest part is gonna be the seat. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do that yet, but and I also have to get rear disc brakes. There's already a disc on here. I just got to get the brake and the brake caliper and the brake cable. So yeah, this thing's coming together. It's looking great, and everything's so far is working out. Okay, I kind of did a lot of stuff without filming because the stuff that I did is kind of boring, so I decided not to film it. But I'm filming now because I'm almost done. But let me just show you what I did. I permanently attached the motor. I attached the gas tank. What I did was I took a metal, welded it here, went under the gas tank, welded it here, and then bolt it to here, and then it goes on top. So therefore the gas tank is not attached to the motor. I can take the motor off without taking the gas tank off, which is kind of cool. But I need to permanently attach it because it's just like loosely on here. I need to put the cover on here. I have to cut the cover right here because it hits right there. No big deal. I fixed the front spokes. And I also didn't notice that that there's shocks in there. So the whole thing has a shock in the front thing. So that's really cool. The bearings on the bottom right there, they were missing, so I had to replace them with a bike bearing that I got off a bicycle outside. I fixed that. It was a little off. I fixed that. These, I had to replace them because those are actually old ones, because originally they had these on there and they were just garbage. I don't know where the rest of them are, but as you can see, they broke, so I had to replace them. And this is them. So yeah, got the brake, pneumatic brake, or hydraulic brake, sorry. The hydraulic brake works great. It's kind of scary because if you touch this just a little bit, the tire just stops. And hopefully it's not going to do that when I'm riding it really fast. Hooked up the throttle. I had to do a thumb throttle because I wanted to do a twist throttle, but I didn't have it, so I would have had to buy it. So I did a thumb throttle because I already had it. Yeah, it's hooked up and it's working good. I also added the seat. Of course it's not done. I just added the frame to it. I decided to, originally I was just going to make it a seat. I decided to add a spring to it to make it extra cool, make it more comfortable ride. I need to attach this permanently to it. I don't know how yet. So if you sit on this thing, it kind of gives, but it's really cool, really comfortable. I just gotta bolt this down and then add a dense foam and then add like fake leather or some kind of waterproof material under this thing, and then the seat's done. What else? I attached, so basically all I have to do to this thing is, that's done. I gotta get the rear brake. There's a disc brake, but the caliper is missing. Also the brake lever is missing. Also the brake line is missing. So I'm gonna have to put all that on the back brake. But for now, the front brake is good on there, so I don't really need a back brake because all your braking power is in the front of a motorcycle, kind of like this. I need to finish attaching the gas tank. I need to run a gas line to it. I need to finish the seat. What else? I need to make a belt tensioner because this thing has a belt, and I also need to make a muffler. And once I do that, then this thing is done. And kind of really anxious to ride this thing because I really geared it to go fast. Hopefully this thing is not going to be too fast. Hopefully it's going to have power to go up hills and have speed. But after that, after I have fun for a little bit riding this thing, strip it down, and then grind all the paint off, repaint it, grind all the rust off, repaint this thing, and then put it all back together and make I gotta make a belt guard for this thing, and then then this thing is done. So yeah, this thing is looking awesome. What I gotta do is I'm just gonna attach the motor, and then I'm gonna attach the gas tank. Then I'm gonna take this thing out for a test drive, because right now the seat doesn't really matter because you're still able to sit on it. So yeah, this thing's looking awesome. Okay, I just finished putting on the belt tensioner and the exhaust. There's my exhaust. It's a straight pipe, which this is a a chopper, so therefore the choppers are supposed to be loud. So I made this thing loud by straight piping it, and this thing sounds awesome. And but the centrifugal clutch, V-belt centrifugal clutch, is having a really hard time. It's slipping, but if I tighten it too much, it's just bogging it down way too much. Therefore, I'm going to have to redesign the thing. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off, take the centrifugal clutch thing off, put on this, and then I'm going to design my own clutch where I step on a peg right there. The peg's going to move down, and it's going to tighten the belt, therefore making this thing, giving the belt traction, and therefore making this thing move. So, I think this is the end of part 1 of this thing. So part 2 is going to be showing this thing riding and showing how this thing performs. So thank you for watching, subscribe, and have a nice day.